if he's if he where he is right now, especially if you are already past 30 and you haven't dated anyone or you're not already in a successful relationship. So our tip today would help.
Yeah. So, and it doesn't matter your age range. It doesn't matter, you can create it right from where you are. And I'm going to show you really the most powerful things to do that. And some of these concepts might be quite new, and I think they're going to be, but if you can wrap your head around them and to use them, I think it's going to be the most powerful secrets that you can have to help you to attract an incredible partner, keep that relationship thriving, and you can really attract someone on a totally different level than all of the people you've dated before. And I think that's really exciting.
And I'm sure this is something like you cannot Google.
Yeah.
If you have been like how to attract a guy or how to this and how to that, this is something I don't think this topic we're gonna talk today, you can find it on Google or on YouTube.
Yeah, this is gonna be pretty unique. So yeah, you have to bear with us. Some of the concepts might take a little bit to get, but we're gonna be answering your questions so that you guys can really get it in a deep way and apply this stuff and have a huge impact on your dating life. All right. So yeah, we talked a little bit about Jess before here, and thank you, Jess, for co-hosting this event.
You're welcome.
Yeah. And so this is me. This is my face here. So a little bit about me. So this is a subject I've been studying for the last 16 years. So I've spent a lot of time. And basically, when I was 18 years old, I moved to New York City for acting school. And acting school, you have to do a lot of inner work in order to be a good actor because, we'll go ahead and end this. You have to do a lot of work to make sure that you can express authentically, right? So it's a lot of emotional work. But while I was there, one of my professors introduced me to personal development, and it totally changed my life. Before that, I had so much depression, a lot of anger, and it really dramatically changed my life. I became obsessed with it. And so I've been lucky enough to have amazing mentors over the last 16 years to really learn deeply about this subject. And so what I wanted to do was I wanted to create a powerful method to attract an incredible partner, but one that felt genuine, one that felt, organic and natural, one that's not difficult or sleazy. A lot of dating coaches are like, text this thing to, get the guy to do this, make him obsessed with you.
Be this way, be that way,
Right. And so instead, I wanted to create something that's authentic to you so you can create the partner that is that fits you really well. And I think that's an exciting idea. So I really struggled in my dating life really bad. It was really bad. My dating life was a disaster, through high school, through college, until I really started applying a lot of the stuff that we're going to be teaching today. And it completely transformed. And I was incredibly shy, had very low self-esteem, very low confidence, and personal development and some of the things we're going to share today totally changed everything for me. So I'm excited to get into it. I hope you guys are excited as well.
All right, let's get ready.
Yeah, so we can go ahead and get into it. What are the secrets, right?
Yeah, we talk about 3 secrets to attract your soulmate. And here is on the screen say, soulmate secrets number 1.
Yeah.
Creating that soulmate vibe.
Yeah.
What is that?
What is that? So the soulmate vibe, right? So that's very important. What is the soulmate vibe? Most people are trying to manipulate or force or trying to, use action to attract a soulmate as opposed to creating. So it's the difference between trying to find or manipulate versus creating. And this is a huge distinction. This is massive. This is night and day. And you'll notice that, and I've done it myself, and I will illustrate this. So being in the soulmate vibe, right? What does it feel like to fall in love? Like, what does that feel like to fall in love? So most people are waiting for someone to make them feel love, to fall in love. They're like, when is someone going to come along to make me happy, to make me feel satisfied, to make me, feel deep appreciation and love? And then they're just waiting for someone else to make them feel that way. But this is actually backwards.
So it's like, if you do this, I'll be happy.
Right.
If you do this, I will love you.
Right. Yeah, it's true. It becomes very conditional. But what we want to do instead is we want to start conditioning our mind and body for already having it. Right? What does it feel like if we already had that soulmate? What would we do? We would have to already have created the space mentally, emotionally, time. We would have to already create, create the feeling. What would it feel like to fall in love already? And when we start to love before someone shows up, before things can really happen, this can be really powerful. So I'll share a little story to illustrate this point. Someone I was coaching went on 100 dates. She went on 100 dates and she felt desperate for a boyfriend, right? So desperation is totally the opposite of being into the soulmate vibe, right? As if you already have it. So she had gone on 100 dates. She was very upset and unhappy. She couldn't find someone that she liked that liked them back. And she was totally in that manipulation mode where you're trying to like force things to happen. Either she didn't like them or they didn't like her. And it was just mismatch all over the place. And that's what happens when you're not in that sort of mindset or vibe already. It keeps being a mismatch. And
Does that mean like she was feeling lack of or trying to, trying
absolutely.
you feeling lack instead of you feeling like it's already completed or she already have it within herself.
Exactly. And so yeah, that mindset of lack, and that desperation, right? When you go on a date with someone who's desperate to have somebody, do you want to date them? Absolutely not. I've been that desperate person before, and I've been on the other side of a desperate person. And it's not particularly fun, but it's the opposite of what we want to do. Right? If you feel like you already have it, you'll be able to enjoy your dates fully. You'll be able to be in a state of love. You'll be able to appreciate that person. The cool thing is when you're doing this really well, you don't even feel like you need it. It's exciting in the process. So what happened with this woman that I was coaching, she had been on the 100 dates and she felt desperate. And I was like, all right, we need to change this. We need to get into the soulmate vibe. We need to start feeling it already. We need to start conditioning our mind, our nervous system of already having it. And what this does, it does so many powerful things that it's even hard to describe. But what happened was 4 weeks later, 3 or 4 weeks later, of really embodying this, being in a state of love, being in a state of having it already. She felt like she already had that soulmate. She was embodying it. She was flowing with it. She felt tremendous love for the dream of this person, whether they showed up or not. She just felt like it was already there. And that really started to change things in a really powerful way.
So if you are still in the frustration or feeling kind of low state, then you are not in the creating vibration of what you want.
Yeah. And so, yes. And yeah, we have to feel the excitement beforehand. The better we can feel about it, the better you feel about relationships, the better the relationships are going to feel about you, in a sense, right? If you're frustrated that someone has not come, then that frustration is going to sort of emanate out from you and push away already having it.
Why he doesn't text me back?
Right.
Why he doesn't call me back?
Right. Well, I think we've all kind of been there at some point.
Yeah.
I've been there. I get it. But myself too, I had been on 100 dates. And so I was talking to her about this. So 3 or 4 weeks later, she she met someone after feeling this tremendous love for, the dream of this person, hasn't met anyone. She went on a date and she told me, she's like, right away, she's like, I knew, right away, right when I met, she's like, this is the guy for me. And it was easy. It was really easy from then. And all she had to do was keep maintaining that appreciation and love and keep flowing that. And yeah, they've been together for 3 years now, and it's been easy ever since. And the cool thing is, it also happened for me too, right? I went on 100 first dates, like I think in a year. Talk about like trying to manipulate and use effort to create it. But when I started creating versus trying to manipulate, I started creating the idea of my ideal person. And yeah, within 3 or 4 weeks as well, I met someone who blew me away. And you can do that too once you start to embody this. And so it takes a little bit of practice, because we have to transition from, if you feel that frustration, or you feel, anxiety, or you feel, anger. That I used to feel angry that someone hadn't showed up. If you feel that, you have to transition into feeling a state of love, to feeling excited about the idea of someone, to feeling joy about this thing that hasn't even been created yet. But as you do that, you start conditioning yourself, your mind, your body, then it's extremely powerful.
So this thing is not working out, but rather working in.
Yes.
You're working internally within your own emotional state.
That's true. That's true. And yeah, it improves your dates. It improves almost everything, but it's extremely powerful. And if you can do this really well, you can create a quality of relationship that is far beyond anything you've ever seen before. And that's not an exaggeration. I really mean that.
And yeah, another thing is, if you have we mentioned in the last webinar before that you are dating the person at your level of self-esteem.
That's right.
If you don't increase your self-esteem, your confidence, your self-love, your vibration, and your energy work, you're gonna stay in that state. You are going to attract the same level of your vibration. So once you increase, you're gonna get that quality as you increase your own.
That's true. And
yeah.
Like say your self-esteem is right here, right? So say your self-esteem is like at this level, and someone comes into your life, but you think their value is not as high, maybe, then you're not going to be attracted to them. Usually we want to be with someone who has high, self-worth, somebody who's valuable, right? But if someone comes in above what we think we're worth, a lot of times we'll sabotage it, or we won't even be able to see it. It won't even be like part of our perception. And so we got to kind of tune into our self-esteem. And as we raise our self-esteem, the quality of our partners improve, and then it improves some more, and then it improves some more. And then, our partner grows with our own growth. And that's a really exciting thing. And so that's why, that's why I wanted to create a program that helps people to do this. So a lot of times we hear a great idea, but we can't really fully apply it the first time we hear it. I have to hear something like 20 times for it to really sink in.
How people to take action, like knowledge or information we perceive, and then we have to take into action. And we have to keep ourselves accountable.
Yeah.
Like most of the time we lose track. We can disconnect it, or the distraction can keep us away from where we want to become.
Yeah, and that's totally the case with people. So what we're doing, I'm really excited to share a little bit about the new program that's coming up. I'll talk more about it at the end. But having someone to help you to move into this state, and because it takes a little bit of time to get it down, it can be really helpful. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into the second secret.
So what is the secret number 2?
Secret number 2. So secret number 2 is
you get how much you can receive.
Yeah, you get how much you can receive.
Mm-hmm.
So
receive what?
Yeah. Yeah, you get as much as you receive. That's absolutely true.
Yes.
Yeah. So you can't actually get more if you can't receive more. I noticed this is a thing that across the board, everyone I've coached has to learn to do more, learn how to receive more. So I don't know how many of you guys feel like you are givers in a
Who's the
relationship.
giver?
You know, I've been there. You know, I've been the giver.
I think most of people are giver. Right.
Yeah.
We like to do things, we like to give because we feel good when we feel good, we want to give, we want to share the happiness with others, right?
Yeah. And yeah, and that's a huge thing. So we want to give, but how many of us are actually really good at receiving? How much of us are really deeply gracious receivers? And something that I struggle with a lot. I had to improve a lot of that. You know, I'll give like an example. So, so yeah, one of my coaching clients, she was at like a volleyball tournament or something, and she was playing, and someone came up to her, and she was like, "Oh, you're so beautiful," and she was like, "No, no, I'm not," and it just kind of like started walking away. And one of the other teammates came up and was like, "Hey, wait a minute, she just called you beautiful and you just said no." You're like, you tried to totally avoid that compliment, did not let it in at all, did not receive it. And she was like, "You didn't say thank you to her. That was really nice."
Actually, I was there before when I was young,
Yeah.
and I was in the performance for the school almost every event, and we dance night, we make up, and then people will come to me, "Oh, you look beautiful today," or "You're beautiful," and most of the time I would say, "No, I'm not." I think I'm okay. I think I'm just alright. I'm not that outstanding. So the thing is, when someone give you a compliment, when someone say nice thing to you, if you the best thing you can do is just say thank you. You just appreciate that the compliment. You don't say no, because the way people look at you, and they want to give, they want to share the happiness, and the most important is when you say no, when someone say nice thing to you, is how you look at yourself. If you think like for this case, if you don't believe you're beautiful, this is how you look at you. That is the most powerful thing. If you don't believe you are beautiful, if you don't believe you are powerful, if you don't believe that you can do everything you can in your life, or if you don't believe that you deserve the best thing in your life, this is the most powerful thing. It is the most.
Yeah.
I think when someone on the podcast say, if you don't believe in yourself, this is the most destructive thing you would do to yourself, the worst thing you would do to yourself.
Yeah, and absolutely. And you have to feel like you deserve what people give to you, because people can't. So why is this so important? Because it is. It's super important, and maybe it doesn't sound like it is yet, but it's extremely vital. So for me, I know what it's like to be a giver. I know what it's like to also be a taker. I've been a taker before, and I know what it's like to be balanced. And what happens is when we're only a giver and we stop the receiving, the only other option is for the other person to only take and not give back, right? So how many of you guys have been in a relationship where you wanted the other person to do more in some way? Maybe you wanted them to appreciate you more. Maybe you wanted them to take you out more. Maybe you wanted them to, love you more. And it seems like they're the problem, right? That they're withholding in that situation, right? It seems like, why are they being like this? Why won't they just give me what I want?
Why
Right.
don't do this to
Right.
me?
Why do you do that, or why don't you do this other thing I want you to do?
Especially women, when we expect the man to, can you do this to me, and we don't say, how will he know?
Well, yeah, that's a whole other thing.
Yes.
Because men are not psychic for sure. But yeah, so what happens in that situation is it seems like it's them withholding, right? If you're wanting them to give to you more and they're not, it seems like it's them, right? But it's actually not. It's always us. It's always us. We're the ones blocking it. We're the ones blocking it. So we need to open that up. We need to let in the receiving more. And as we let in the receiving more, our inner value increases. You'll notice like really people like big celebrities, they get given to all the time. They're gracious receivers. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And that's what we want to be, right? People want to be royalty, but royalty, you know, people give to royalty the most, even though they need it the least. And so if we want to be, you know, treated like a queen, you know, or treated like a king, we need to open up that receiving. That's the most important part. It's the most important part. I'll give an example. So
Actually, I have a story about
Sure.
My sister. I hope
Yeah.
she's not listening yet. I think she know. So she been dating for it's been a long time ago when they were young, and she have a popular date with a guy, and they both giver. So the guy he bought her a very expensive night watch, and then when she received it, she's like, "Oh, that's so expensive! It's so valuable item." And what she did, she went to the store, get the same amount expensive night watch to give him back. It's like he give her back, she give her back. It's like they both give her, and
Yeah.
no one received.
Right. And so that's what happens, right? So if you like give to someone and they're a giver and they don't have the receiving open, so you try to give to them, and so you get them the nice watch, and instead of them feeling excited and happy about it, they feel
I got it
stressed.
back.
They feel stressed and they have to like immediately give it right back. You know, it's like when people compliment someone, they ping pong the compliment. Oh, you look great today. No, you look great today. Immediately stopping that and pushing it back on the other person, not letting themselves receive it.
So let them do. If they want to, if he want to praise you, if she want to praise you, so switching from being taker and receiver, balance the giving and receiving.
Yeah, so you gotta find the balance. You gotta find the balance, and as you allow yourself to receive more love will come in.
Yes.
Right, and that's really powerful. So okay, I'll give an example. This is a personal example from my life, and I remember I was dating. There's two women I dated back to back. One I dated, and then I dated the other one a couple months later. And it was really interesting because it was like night and day. So one, I wanted to give to constantly. I constantly wanted to give to this person because every time I did, you know, she just laid it on thick with appreciation. You know, she praised me. Thank you so much. You know, she just really appreciated every little thing that I did. So I like wanted to give to her all the time. I wanted to like do all kinds of stuff for her. And because her receiving was wide open and it was powerful. And the other person I dated, I barely gave to. And it kind of sounds bad, right? Like I barely gave to this other person, but not because I didn't want to, but because her receiving was like super closed. And so like whenever I would try to, like I remember I took her out to like a really nice dinner one night, and the whole night she was just like an anxious wreck because she didn't feel worth, you know, giving, you know, what I was trying to give to her. And so she felt uncomfortable the whole time, even though it's not like she was a bad person. She had a heart of gold. She was like an incredibly kind and awesome person. But whenever I gave to her, she couldn't let it in. And so I would try to give to her and then she wouldn't let it in. I would try to give to her and she wouldn't let it in. Then you try to give to her and wouldn't let it in. And eventually you stop trying to give to this person. And you would think, right, I must have liked the first person more, right? Must have been just more attracted to the first person. But that's actually not true. I probably like the second one more, but she just had it so blocked to the receiving, you know. And she grew up in you know, not great environments, and you know there was a lot of factors, of course, and this plays into all of our inner psychology. But was really important on this is the first person. Every time I gave to them, I wanted to give more because their appreciation and their ability to receive was so strong. Yeah, and it felt amazing. It felt amazing. And that's how we get into a balanced relationship, right? If someone can only give, then they have to be with someone who can only take. there's just no other option. There's no other option because you can't complete the circuit. There's no flow.
And there, I heard the word say on the internet sometimes like, oh, don't be a taker, don't be
Yeah.
kind of compare the other person to be as a taker. I think this is something we can practice to take control or in charge of our life. And receiving is something you can practice.
Yeah.
Actually, I just practice about accepting compliment not long ago. Like, I mean, yeah, we can say thank you or we can say we appreciate someone doing something nice to us. And but do it as a habit. Like now for me, every time someone compliment or do something nice to me, buy me something, open the door for me, I say thank you, I appreciate it. Every little thing that is nice in our life that come into our life, practice this as a habit, and then you keep receiving more, and then you feel good, you feel happy, and on the other hand, you don't block someone else to do nice thing to you. You don't block someone else with happiness to give you a nice thing to you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And don't we love to give? Isn't it nice? Right? Don't we love to give? Isn't it nice to like give something really valuable and wonderful to someone and then to really appreciate it? Isn't that awesome? It feels great, right? Well, we can be that person. So yeah, I think that's a great suggestion. What I would suggest for each of you is to practice your receiving. Practice your receiving. If someone opens the door for you, thank you so much. Thank you so much for opening the door for me, this little thing, Someone gives you a compliment, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Just lay it on thick, like just appreciate so deeply. If someone wants to buy you lunch or buy you tea or coffee, let them do it. Yeah. If somebody is trying to carry your bag in a hotel, let them, right? Let them give to you. Give them the gift of being able to give to you, because that's something also that makes you so rare. It's a rare thing to find a really gracious, amazing receiver. It's rare, probably only a few percentage of the population are really good at it. And so that's something that one will set you apart so much. But two, you can't be a high value person if you can't receive. You cannot. And so if you're not becoming that high value person, you're not going to attract a high value person.
Know your worth.
Know your worth. Know your worth. Right. Yeah.
You deserve the best.
That's right. People are trying to be kings or queens. Like imagine like like a royal, throne room, and there's a huge line and you are the king or queen, and a huge line of people trying to give you gifts. That happens a lot in royalty. So this huge line of people trying to give you gifts, and you're like, no, I'm not worthy. Don't give me this beautiful,
I don't deserve it.
This beautiful, crown. Don't give me this beautiful chair, this furniture you built me. Don't give me this beautiful, piece of artwork. And imagine stopping all that. Like everyone there would be like quite upset. So if you want to be royalty, if you want to be treated like a king or queen, you got to receive. You got to open it wide and give back graciously. Yeah.
Know your value.
Yeah. Know your value. Absolutely.
Okay.
All right. So we can go ahead and get into secret number 3.
All right. The last one today.
Yeah.
Secret number 3 is expanding your love container.
Yeah. Expanding your love container.
Is it?
So this one is probably the most sort of complicated to
I
understand.
haven't heard anything on the internet. Like if I Google, I wouldn't find it, but it's the love container. Yeah.
So let's talk about this, because for most people this is going to be a super new concept. What is the love container, right? Love container. So your love container, or I'm also calling it your capacity. Your capacity. And basically what that means, every subject in our life has a certain amount of capacity that we're able to receive, right? So bear with me here. It's a little bit easier to explain with something that's measurable like money. So some people have their mindset set at a certain dollar amount, for instance. So there's a reason that people who win the lottery are more likely to be broke than an average person. Like, what's going on here? You know, the majority of people, they win the lottery and they blow it all. Why?
Within a short period
Very
of
short
time.
period of time. Very short period of time. Why? Why does this happen? Yes, the money management skills. But what happens is our subconscious has a sort of set point that we feel that we're worth. And then we're going to get rid of anything that's above that amount. Anything that's above that amount. And the same is true for relationships. And you can see it actually around you all the time. So people have, each of us have a different amount of capacity or a different container size for how much love or you know, what quality of partner we're able to pull into our life. I'll give an example. I'll give an example. I was at Publix in Florida one day, and there was two women talking nearby, and one of the women, you know, says to the other woman, they're like, you know, oh, what kind of like partner do you want? And yeah, the other woman's like naming some things. She's like, oh, I want someone kind, I want someone with like, you know, hair, and I want someone with like teeth, you know, and like different things. And the other woman said, well, this is Florida. You can't have someone with teeth and hair. And I thought that was really quite funny. And so actually what she's describing is her own love container. Her ability, she's not able to hold both someone with hair and someone with teeth. That's too big for her container to hold for expectation. Even though other people with hair and teeth, yeah, of course, I have hair and teeth and I live in Florida, you know?
That is from Florida story. You want to hear Bangkok story?
Okay.
Oh, not Bangkok story. I heard this story from Thailand, somewhere, any part. And one of my friends say, what he say on that day, if you want a good guy, he's gonna be poor. If you want a rich guy, he's gonna be dishonest person. He probably like bad guy, but he's rich. Which one do you want? What if like I can get both nice guy and rich? You know,
You know,
like,
yeah.
why you condition?
Yeah, and so part of it is our expectation, but how, you know, we have to have the capacity to have what we want. If we believe someone's too good for us, we're not going to keep them in our life. So yeah, so
I have another story. I'm not so correct me if I'm wrong. About love container. When I was young in high school, I think everyone, when you were in high school, you have puppy love, you know, that kind of romance in a cute way. And so I was in the first year and
high school. You're a freshman. Okay.
And then there was I'm in the top class, like genius.
You're top of the class. Okay.
Yeah, and then there is a boy, a little boy at the far end of the class. So he sent me a paper under the, not that he sent me, I don't know when he did it. It just for some reason I came to my room, sit on my table, and I saw a paper like a resume with his 1 inch, and then say his name, last name, hobbies, what he like to eat, what his favorite subject, and at the end it's like, will you be my girlfriend?
So he like hand wrote a resume to see if you wanted to be your boyfriend. If
he wanted to be my boyfriend. And like that's the first thing I saw. We at the same age. I think it was somewhere 12, 13. And so I look at the resume and like, oh, that's cute, boy. Like, why did you do it?
But probably not interested at all.
Yeah,
right?
the way I see this young boy sending me resume, I'm like, oh, that's cute. I actually look at him the way like he was younger, and I wasn't interested in.
You were not interested, yeah.
And in the meantime, there was a guy, like he's the last year, tall, handsome.
He's like a senior.
Smart, basketball player. Oh my God, I want to look at him. And that is the man I wanted it. And then so I tried, what I did is I tried to stay close to him. If he stay during the lunch break, I just try to sit next to him or behind him, I've been something like that for a couple of weeks until one day. I think he's starting to see me like why this girl keeping showing up around me all the time. So it could be funny. And so at the end, I just asked him, hey, my name is, and can I have your phone number?
That's pretty bold.
I did ask him, and he gave me his phone number.
Yeah.
And we started to hang out. We started to went for ice cream after school. He like helping me carry the bag and stuff like that. It's kind of cute. But we didn't in the relationship. It's more like having a good time together. So my understanding is that the love container of that young boy toward me wasn't big enough.
Yeah.
He didn't even I still didn't know right who the heck he is, and then he didn't show up. And in the meantime, my love container for that senior man, handsome man, is not big enough for him.
Yeah. And so yeah, that's exactly how it works too, right? So yeah, so for instance, for the younger guy, his love container, his capacity would not have been able to handle you. And I'm sure we probably had seen some people in our life that maybe that liked us at some point. We're like, this person definitely could not handle me. And so that's like another way of describing the love container. And then maybe the older guy, he's probably like this, this young girl could not handle me. And so yeah, probably that time your container was not big enough to hold that person. And I think we've all experienced that to some degree. A lot of times the people who don't have a big enough container we're not going to be attracted to. Usually we're attracted to people we perceive as having a container big enough to hold us. And so this is really powerful. This has an incredible ability to create a level of attraction that's like very few other things can. So expanding your love container, expanding your ability, your capacity to have a quality of person is extreme. So I even use this, I went on a few dates with someone and I like expanded my capacity to perceive to actually hold them. Before I felt like I couldn't. And it was amazing. Almost as soon as I did, the level of attraction that they had for me on the other side, it was almost instant. And it was shocking how much more powerful it was. And every time I've done this, it's had a really profound effect.
So how do we feel when we experiencing if we on a date? How do we feel if our container cannot contain the other person?
So, yeah, that's a great question.
Yeah.
So whenever you're feeling that nervousness or clinginess, all of that is an indication of a too small container size, right? I don't know if you've ever, sometimes if somebody starts having, it could also make you like hypersensitive to the other person. That's an indicator that your container needs to expand. If you have like fight or flight feeling.
It's like, I'm on a date today. How can I do? What can I dress?
Yeah.
What can I say?
That's true. Actually, even butterflies are indication that you need to expand your container size. But usually when it's butterflies, it's not that much. But yeah, if someone is bigger than we can hold, we're not going to be cool, easygoing, normal person. I've been that person where I walked up to someone I liked and, be like, oh my God, hey, you have like weird, shaky, strange version of yourself. That is a mismatch in your container size. But the cool thing is you expand it and you become a completely different person in a good way. You get to actually totally be yourself. And so you can see this too, right? You go up to someone you find extremely attractive. Okay, how many of you, all right, I'm gonna ask you guys.
Celebrity
Oh yeah, do you have any celebrity crushes? Let me know in the chat if any of you guys have any celebrity crushes.
Imagine women, if you ladies, imagine if you're going to go on a date with Brad Pitt tomorrow. What are you gonna do?
All right, if Brad Pitt walked up to you and is like, hey, you want to go on a date? Right? Most women are gonna be crapping their pants, And because why?
Yeah, because
because
you can't hold them.
yeah, the container size, of celebrity, to contain a celebrity, it would take quite a bit. That's why most celebrities usually only date other celebrities because they're one of the few people that can hold or contain them. And so a higher quality person is going to require a bigger container. You're going to require more capacity. So as you expand your capacity, your level and quality of partner expands dramatically. Yeah.
So is it you mentioned insecurity, like nervousness, worry when dating or when together. Is there any other thing like jealousy or
Yeah, jealousy.
trust?
Yeah, jealousy is a big indicator.
Yeah,
Jealousy.
anything else that
So it's usually going to cause more extreme emotions, or it could cause someone to just like straight up kind of run away or shut down. And so if you feel completely normal and at peace, then your container is good for that thing. So a lot of people, and you can tell that it's not just in love, it's on many other subjects as well. Some people, if they were all of a sudden to be, a CEO of a huge business, they would be like, oh shit, how the hell am I going to handle this, right? Because the container is not used to that. It's not even close toward that subject. But what's so important about this one is we want to do it toward romance, toward our ideal partner. We need to expand big enough to hold our ideal partner. And most people are not even close. They're not even close. And so if that ideal person did show up tomorrow, they would not be able to handle them. And that's almost all humans because they haven't done the work to expand their container.
So basically, if you can be yourself, be at ease with yourself, be peace with yourself, and then you will be able to handle the person. And is that correct?
Well, yeah.
I mean, you mean, I mean, the love container for that particular person, you can handle it.
Yeah, what you have to do is you have to actually sort of reprogram your subconscious mind. So yeah, like it says here, so it's like worthiness. Yes, it's related to worthiness, but in a way, it's worthiness related to something or someone specific. So it's not just overall worthiness. Some people feel very worthy in their career or their business life, but feel very unworthy in their dating life. Or some people feel super worthy in being physically fit. You see a lot of like Instagram influencers, and their container to be fit is very strong. So it's related to worthiness, yes, to a specific subject, to the specific subject of love and romance. And so we have to, yes, feel worthy of our ideal partner, but we also want to, in a sense, have the capacity for them, so that it's easy. So it's not a big strain on our system, if that makes sense. Imagine we're like a pipe, but we're like only this size, but we need to, have a whole river full of water go through it. It's going to put a lot of strain. So if we can expand our capacity, then we have enough ability to let in what we want to let in, and it feels easy, it feels natural. Have you ever heard there's like this old, I've heard about like this Buddhist idea that that if you feel like a lot of butterflies and kind of intense emotion right away, that person is not the one. And but if you feel just like it's just right, and you feel like you're at home, then that person is much more of a match to you.
I can relate that.
Yeah. And so what they're kind of describing is two different container sizes, right? So when someone feels just right, they're a match to your current container size. And when someone feels, like it's a big stretch, or it doesn't feel comfortable, but you have a lot of desire, then we need to expand the container so that we can hold that person.
So with the question, I can give an example. Worthiness and love container. Worthiness is, let's say I have a friends and they are successful in business, like super good, lot of money in the tank, and they keep saying that they are not lucky in the woman, dating women. Women will come to them because of money, rather like the true love or the way he is, and that is how they describe their worthiness. And when they look at the woman they wanted it, they look at the woman they wanted it, and they feel like, oh, I want to date that woman, and they say, but I cannot handle her because she's too smart, she's too great, she's too confident, she's, full package of herself. I want her, but I cannot hold her. I think that is indicate his love container about, this is the woman I want to be, this is the man I want to be with, but how can I handle that state of the person?
Right.
Yeah, they feel like they're not good enough for that person.
Yeah, and look, I've been there too. Yeah, I remember I was dating a woman, and she was like, she kind of like blew me away. And she was like 6'2". She was a lot taller than me. She was a lawyer, and she was an engineer, and she was a model. And like I did not feel, even though we had so many things in common, we got along so well, I didn't feel good enough for her. My capacity was not big enough for her at that time. And so I remember actually going, after we separated after like 6 months, something like that. I remember maybe like a year and a half later, I pulled up the old texts that we had sent, and I was like shocked by what I found. I totally like self-sabotaged, the relationship. My emotions got too hot, and I was like shocked by what was there. I had totally different memory of what happened. And we do this really funny thing when we don't feel good enough or worthy of someone, that we subconsciously push them out of our life. We really don't let something that's greater than we feel we deserve in to stay. And that's why it's so vital. And yeah, and it like deletes any memory of what had actually happened. So I was shocked by what I found and how I was acting. And I totally understand why she went away. She had to. And but it was a great learning moment for me, because it helps me to understand how our minds work. And that's why it's so much better to expand our container first, so that when we do find someone great, we're ready. And so we're not like scrambling last minute to grow so much in such a short period of time that it's impossible to keep up. And it's not something that we do, some of this stuff, it takes a little bit of time. It's not something that's done instantly.
Yeah, it's called, so you may have heard something about, there is no luck. When we say, oh, I'm lucky, you are lucky, there is no luck. Luck is the preparation meet the opportunities. Mm-hmm. So before you meet that person, you prepare yourself in the worthiness state.
Yeah.
And you're actually expanding, let me answer this, expanding your own worthiness. You had not, from my perspective, you had nothing to do with expanding, increasing, because you are already worthy. Everyone born with worthiness. Mm-hmm. Everyone have it. No one lack of it. You just recognize it. You have to be aware of your own worthiness. That's it. It's already there. You know or you don't know. That's it. That is how I see from my perspective.
Yeah.
And yeah, is what Zach did in the past is he prepared, after he learned the lesson about insecurity of his subconscious behavior that drive the partner away, that drive the quality partner away. I think many people have been in this experience before, including me. When I was young, insecurity, not confidence, not much of emotional intelligence. As we grow up, we learn from experience and we learn the lesson in the past. This can be from relationship, can be from love or career. On camera is here. They keep looking at it. Career and any other thing in your life. So there's no bad luck or there's no failure, there's no mistake, but it's all lesson, life lesson that you're going to take in. What did you learn and what will you do differently next time? That's how Zach did. So he learned from it and he prepared to meet his next opportunity, which it can become a greater and much, much more better.
Yeah, and that's the cool thing is like as you expand this, the quality of your partners just goes through the roof, you know, and people treat you, you know, the quality that they treat you is better. And also the person who has the bigger container is usually the one who sort of calls the shots in the relationship. You'll notice that usually there will be one person that has a little bit more power than the other one in the relationship, and it's the person with the bigger container. And so even if you're in a relationship already and you know you want to improve it, having a bigger container is super helpful. Not because you want to have power over someone, but because you want to feel more comfortable. And having a bigger container allows other people to give to you more, allows you to have more of the relationship that you want. And it's not a way of forcing anyone else. It's they'll be excited to give to you and want to share with you. And I think that's a beautiful place to be.
Love's supposed to be fun.
Yeah, love is supposed to be
Right.
fun. Yeah, of course. And yeah, so I wanted this to be fun, this presentation and talking about these ideas as well. Yeah, and relationships is supposed to be fun, you know. If you're doing really right, there shouldn't be a lot of downside
You
to
shouldn't feel
dating.
stressed,
Yeah,
right?
and yeah, it's supposed to be free flowing, and we shouldn't get too worried about what other people are thinking. That's another thing too. If you're wondering what someone is thinking all the time, you got to expand your container, you know, for sure. Or if yeah, or if you feel insecure a lot around the person, you got to expand the container. Someone I was dating, you know, they were really amazing, and I was able to, but I felt very insecure and I feel good enough for them, and I was able to expand my container. And from then on, I never felt insecure around them ever again, and I felt super confident. And so this stuff really works, and it makes such a powerful difference. So I wanted to share all that with you guys.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Good.
So yeah, it's the third secret.
So for what we have learned, I'll just do a quick summarize. The first one is soulmate secrets. Number one is to create your soulmate vibe.
Yeah.
So increase your vibration, not being in the lack state. You already have it, and don't feel frustration. Increase your emotional state to feel complete, feel full, feel at peace. You know, be happy. You know, trying to be at that state. And the second one is to you get what you receive. Practice receiving. You're worthy to receive all the best thing in your life. You deserve it. It's everyone's right to have it. So don't feel lack of something. And the secret number two is expanding your love container. Is how you can, if you want to hold that high quality partner, love, life, relationship, or anything. I think this also mean in the career and your work and any other area as well, because it indicates your maturity, your security, your how can you hold someone, how can you handle someone that person in your life.
Yeah, it's the ability to have, you know, to in your subconscious in a sense, having the size to allow something in. Yeah, and in different areas we have different amounts of capacity.
That's true. Yes.
And so yeah, toward that ideal person, we want to make sure that it's wide open, that we have a big enough container to hold it. You know, if you know, so a great thing you can do is think about, okay, what is my ideal partner, and then expand, and not just cerebrally, just in our brain, but we need to expand our sort of subconscious or sort of emotional body, our inner world, in order to hold it, because that's really what wins. A lot of times we're like, oh, I'm totally worth that person, and then we're actually standing in front of them and we're like, oh my God. Oh my
what
God.
am I do?
Right, exactly. And so so we got to make sure to actually do it.
It's not just saying it. We have to actually do and apply and see how it goes.
Yeah, because I've totally been that person, like, oh, I'm totally good enough for them. Like, oh, talk to them, and I'm like, ugh. Anyway. So yeah, if you guys have any questions as well, we're gonna get some Q&A here in a minute. But yeah, we have a quick little announcements that I'm really excited to share.
I think we already said a bit at the beginning about our mindful dating program, which is coming next month in the next couple of weeks. And
So yeah, so it's coming up in a few weeks. It's going to start in a few weeks. But I wanted to share with you guys right now. You have two choices in front of you. So you can, one, right, try to continue doing it yourself, trying to find that quality partner yourself. And that's great, that we always want to be independent and try to do it ourselves. I always wanted to do it myself. And it can be a lot of ups and downs. But usually what happens is when we try to do it ourselves, we make some progress, we lose some progress, but there's no real like strong direct line. So sometimes, yeah, we can figure it out, but it takes a long time. So some people, maybe they find their soulmate, but it takes 5 years or it takes 8 years. And so that's one option. But the other option is to start moving forward in a really accelerated and powerful way. And we do this like we do anything else, right? When our car breaks down, what do? We call a mechanic. We don't try to fix it ourselves. When we get sick, what happens? We go to the doctor. When we want to get fit, we get a personal trainer. And when we want, a soulmate, what do? Nothing. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense.
I think relationship is a part of our life in our cycle. It's not just work and family or self-care, but I think relationship is a big part in our life.
Yeah.
And have anyone going to someone.
So yeah, we don't think like, oh, like this is something that we need help with, something that we have to, do it ourselves. And it's difficult.
Yeah.
So instead, I want you to imagine having that incredible partner with you. I want you to picture yourself snuggled up, by a fire or, out on the beach, whatever that exciting feeling. I want you to picture that. What would it feel like to have that? And so I think it's really exciting. We're creating the best program to help you to do that. And it's going to be extremely powerful. And it should be fun too. So it'll be easy, it'll be fun, and it'll really be the fast way. It'll really be the fast way. So doing it from the inside out really is the fast way. Because if you try to do it through manipulation, it just takes forever. You can go on 200, 300 dates and maybe still not meet anyone. But you start changing the internal, then everything goes in your favor a lot faster. Also, it makes you more confident, it makes you more happy, makes you feel better about yourself. The quality of the relationship that you could attract is miles above what most people are trying to do. So you might as well, learn what really works, what's really effective. And the way that most people are doing it is just not going to get them there anytime soon. So I'm really excited to announce the Mindful Dating Program. What we're going to do, it's super affordable. We're going to meet twice a month over a Zoom call. I'm going to teach you exactly how to do it. We're going to have a customized program for you directly. Here's a little bit about it. So we've got Q&A as well. So I'm going to be helping you guys directly. Jess is also going to be a part of it, helping with her, she's a NLP master practitioner. She has a lot of amazing skills to clear trauma and to turn you into the person you've always wanted to be and to pull out this amazing, thing inside of you.
So yeah, in this program, you are not only working with one of the best dating coach in the world, and as a wellness coach in this part, and as a neuro-linguistic programming master coach, I can help you with limiting belief, emotional pattern, and so much more on the mindset and self-growth program. And so it's not just the dating relationship, but you're gonna learn and increase your personal growth journey as well.
Yeah. And it's going to help you be a lot happier. We're going to, because one of the biggest parts of creating a happy relationship is creating happiness first. How can you create a happy relationship if you're not happy? You can't do it. So what we're going to do, this, content we have in this group is going to be so powerful. It's really going to transform your dating life to a tremendous degree. and it's going to make you think about relationships in a completely different way. And so it's a really unique program. It's something you can't find anywhere else. And we're going to be having guest coaches in there. We're going to have a lot more going on as well.
Hanging out with like-minded people,
being part of the
and
community, right?
you have full support from us, and any questions, just feel free, go to the group, and we talk in there, and we make sure we track and support you on your personal growth and relationship journey.
Yeah, absolutely. And I promise you, if you're in this group, you're going to feel more love than you've ever felt in your entire life, probably multiplied many times over. Because if you're not actually doing the program right, and we're going to show you how to do that. The cool thing is it's only $99 per month. So we want to make it super affordable so that everyone can be a part of it if they want to. And it's also going to have some custom programming. We're going to try to help everyone individually with what's going on in their life. And so, yeah. Oh, and here's the extra little bonus. We're going to share the link to sign up for that. Oh, where did it go? We're going to share the link to sign up for that. Oh, close it. Hang on one sec. And the chat box. And anyone who signs up in the next 30 minutes gets a free one-on-one coaching session with me.
Me too, actually.
All right, so you're gonna get 2 free one-on-one coaching sessions for anyone who signs up in the next 30 minutes. So yeah, it's only $99 a month. And if you don't like it, we have a money back guarantee. Within 30 days, if you don't like it, we'll give you your money back. We call it the Shark Infested Waters Guarantee. If after 30 days being in the program, that you wouldn't swim through shark infested waters to stay in the program, then it's free. We'll give you your money back. That's it. So it's totally risk-free. And yeah. So there's no reason not to sign up. Okay, we're going to stop the share. So yeah, so we're going to go ahead and get into some Q&A if you guys have any questions so far. If not, we can finish up for today. I appreciate all of you guys for coming, by the way.
Well, actually, you can, if you have any question, feel free to, if you can even turn on the microphone.
Yeah, and we can talk about anything individually that you guys have going on. Yeah, I know one question that someone was asking, they were asking, like, there was someone they really liked. There's someone they really liked. Like, how do I get this person? How do I get this person I really like? That's a really common thing people ask. I've been there before. I remember the first time.
You want specific person?
Yeah. So someone mentioned to me before, they're like, hey, they wanted to ask this question. They couldn't make it live today, but they were like, oh, I have this specific person I want to attract. And so what would I do in that situation? Here's what you can do. One, so these secrets today are really applicable. So say there's someone you like, there's some quality, there's the essence of them that you perceive that you would like to be with this person. So one, being that soulmate vibe is really powerful. So if you can start loving, if you can start appreciating that person, what would you feel like if you fell in love with that person? And I'm not talking about a lot of times people think love is like a level of commitment as opposed to an emotional state. So if you're embodying an emotional state of love powerfully, that is a powerful place to be. And it has a really powerful attraction force to it. I remember, for instance, I was like swiping, this is years ago. I was swiping on a dating site, and I came across a woman. I was like, oh my God, this woman, like, wow. And actually, I described her earlier in one of the stories. And I was like, I wonder what would happen if I just felt like this person was in my life. If I already knew them, if I was already in love, and I would just come back to the profile, and I would just like feel powerful love for this person I've never even met. And it wasn't really even about this person. It was just like the idea of this person. And yeah, I would just feel it for extended periods of time. I would just be in that soulmate vibe, and I would just feel a lot of powerful appreciation. And the cool thing is, a couple months later, out of nowhere, I get a message from this person, the exact person. I don't know how many people are in New York City, but it's a lot, millions, millions and millions of people. And so many people are on dating sites and dating apps. So the chances that I received a message from this specific person that I had put my mind on is extremely low. But when I started visualizing it, so I started feeling it, I started to do that. And yeah, in a couple months, we were dating, we were together, and she was incredible. This is a really powerful exercise. Now, I did something dumb. I stopped appreciating, I stopped loving, and I didn't feel good enough for this person, so it fell apart. But if you're wanting to attract someone, being in a state of love and being in a state of appreciation is extremely powerful. It's extremely powerful. So if you can find that love, if you can expand your container to make sure you can hold them, which is something that I did not do in the first time, it's really vital. It's really vital. You can't keep someone in your life that is more than you feel you're worth. So you got to make sure that your worthiness is big enough to hold them. Yeah.
Good.
So yeah, we'll finish up for today, guys. And yeah, lots of love for everyone here. I really appreciate everyone who showed up. Thank you so much.
And if you want to connect with us on social media, we are on, let me, we can show the,
yes,
that's right,
on social media. Let's go ahead and share screen again.
this one.
Just a screen. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So we are on, scroll down.
Oh, this one.
Yeah, it's below here.
So you can connect with us here.
So you are mostly we on Instagram.
Yeah, mostly on Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can connect with Jess at Inner Blossoms on Facebook and Instagram.
So mostly on my Instagram, pretty much about mindset and wellness and conscious living. This is how I practice. Maybe it's how I practice, and I want to teach what I practice. And so yeah, connect with me. And if you want to have a free session, half an hour, 30 minutes, feel free to DM me here as well.
Yeah, so definitely do that. Take her up on her offer. Jess is an amazing coach and can do huge things in your life. So definitely do that. I'm Zachariah Bourne. You can follow me on Instagram or send me an email and at zachariahdevelopment@gmail.com. If you also have questions about the Mindful Dating Program, go ahead and send us a message. We would love to hear from you. And we're also designing the program so that it's really custom to everyone who's in there. So we want to make sure we're sharing exactly what's going to help you to move to that new level, to attract an incredible partner while being your happiest by feeling your best. And yeah, we're excited about that for you. All right.
Thank you everyone for tuning in today. I know it's pretty late there. It's only 9 a.m. here in Bangkok. We're going to go for breakfast. And sending you to have a good sleep, have a good night, and we appreciate you all to tuning in today.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, lots of love for everyone here.
Good night, Erin, Mike, and Eva, Patricia. Thank you.
Thank you. Stop share. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're very welcome.
You're welcome.
Absolutely. All right, take care.